build your faith,
Yes.
your fears shrink.
Yes.
So you're able to live a life of impact. You're able to
Yes.
live a life that is meaningful even to the people around you.
Yes. It is necessary
Yeah.
for your growth.
Yes.
So could you kindly just touch on the colors, the
So
different color
we
energies?
have 4 colors when it comes to Clarity4D.
Yes.
And the 4 colors, we have the red, which is represented by fire. And that simply means that these people are the people who are very decisive in the way they make their decision.
Yes.
And they are these people who are very, very forthright. You
Yes.
know? They are decisive,
Yeah.
they are forthright,
Yes.
and they make decisions very fast and act very fast. And these people usually come out as very bold.
Yes.
These people usually, they know what they want.
Yes.
They can't beat around the bush.
So welcome to Off Mute with Becky. In this space, in this podcast, in this episode, we want to discuss so much about us, especially as women. We want to discuss how do we show up? Do we know ourselves? Self-awareness and identity is key. It helps us show up fully the way we expected to show up, not the way that other people want us to show up, but how we should show up. And today we have a lovely guest. She'll help us with this. She'll give us tools, she'll give us ways, tips and tricks on how we can know our identity, how to show up and show up fully, strongly, boldly, like we should. And today we are joined by a beautiful woman here, and she is Redempta. She will tell us more about what tools are out there that we can use to actually know who we are and how to actually just make our choices. So Redempta, thank you so much for joining us. In this episode, we talk about self-awareness and identity. And we are curious to know, who is Redempta? For those ones who've never heard about you before, I'm sure people are curious to know who is Redempta. So who is Redempta?
Thank you so much, Becky. This is an awesome opportunity. I'm thrilled, I'm elated to actually be joining on this show to just speak about self-awareness, identity, and also to just be able to help a woman out there and any other person who may be listening to this podcast. So my name is Redempta Kanja. I'm an author, a speaker, the founder of Redempta Kanja Global, which is a training and coaching firm that is just helping people discover their identity, know who they are, and become better in their life. I'm also a mentor, especially there is a group that we run called After One Kind Club. It's on Facebook. And basically we are doing personal development and spiritual development because we realize that you can never rise beyond, you can never have success beyond the level of your personal development. So that's basically what we are dedicated to doing. Above everything, I am so excited to be here. I'm married to one Mr. Eric Kanja. I have a daughter, and basically, I love God. I'm a child of God. Yeah.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful and well said. Now, when we talk about self-awareness, I am really curious about your journey. Because I know you didn't just show up knowing everything, knowing what you needed to do and how you needed to do it. You have a journey.
Yes.
And here at Off Mute with Becky, we want to hear real stories, real vibes. We want to hear what exactly have you been up to for you to be here today. What has that journey been like for you? Would you kindly take us a little bit, a few years back? Who was Redempta? I feel like, say, 10, 15 years ago.
Okay. I think my story is very long, and I just want to cut into bits and bits that might serve and be of importance to us today. And one thing I want to say is that I wasn't always self-aware. It's been a journey for sure. And I just want to say that I used to live life normally. I just knew there was something more in life, but I didn't really have a grasp of what it is. And I just want to say, having been brought up by my father, who was a teacher, he always put that in me and awakened that a sense of there is more to life. So I knew there was more to life, but truthfully speaking, I thought it was about going to college, finish your college, get a good job, get a husband, have children, and life moves on. But the truth is that I literally did that. I went to school at Nairobi University, studied. After that, I got a job. I got married, and I was just moving through the motions of life every day. Wake up, go to work, come back, and that's what I did. But let me say, there was something inside me that just knew that there's more to life, but I never knew what to do or how to do it. But I remember when I got my first baby, motherhood, everything shifted for me. That was the moment that everything shifted, because a story that I won't go into, but I'll just mention that I had a very problematic pregnancy, and I remember each and every day was a threat for me and for my life. I remember going to hospital and they were like, hey, you need to terminate this baby if you need to be okay. But I remember just walking through and finding someone who told me, do you believe in God? Everything is possible. And also just having my husband being there and telling me whatever God causes you to conceive, he will bring to fulfillment. So through that journey, I was there. But I remember that time when it was time for me to give birth, and I almost lost my life in that season. And when I woke up and they were telling me the stories, I didn't understand even what was happening. I remember going home and I was just like, I almost lost my life, and this baby would have been brought up alone. And I just started asking God, oh my God, if tomorrow I was to leave this world, what will I leave for my daughter? What legacy will I leave? There was an awakening in me, and suddenly I was like, I need to know. Suddenly I was aware of my emotions, my thoughts. I was aware of my strength, and I'm like, I have come a long way. So what can I do differently? How can I be different?
Yeah.
What do I want my daughter to know right now? It's like my whole life shifted. And it was just not about my daughter, but it was also about me. That what would I want her to live knowing that the mother did? What legacy do I want to? Because I realized that life can literally slip out of your hands. So for me, that was a moment of self-awareness. And I remember in that moment of self-awareness, just sitting down, and I can be sincere and say that I went back to my knees and I was just like, God, what do you want me to do in my life?
Was that like your aha moment? Would you say that was a highlight of your aha moment in your self-awareness?
I think it wasn't my aha moment. I have my aha moment,
Okay.
but that moment was a moment of realization that I've been living below my standard. I've been living a life that was not worth anything.
Yeah.
At that moment was a realization that if I passed on today, I haven't done anything worth remembering.
Yes.
Like I could be forgotten in the next 1 or 2 years,
Yes.
and no one will ever think about Redempta. And that is not what I wanted. So I really wanted to be like, if I went right now, or if I was not around, my daughter would still grow up at 30 and still remember the mother. So for me, that moment was just a moment of realization that, I haven't been living yet. I knew there was something, but you know the way you know other things, you know that there is greatness in you, there is something you need to do, but you've never taken an action to actually live in that realization and in that moment.
Relate to that,
Yes. So for me, that moment was that. But then there was another time that I had an aha moment when I remember I had just gone back to work and I just felt frustrated. Like I was, like this is a job. Initially, I forgot to say I had worked in the banking section for like 14 years.
Yes.
And at the beginning, I remember when I got that job, I cried. I was like, God, you're so faithful. Thank you for giving me such a job. Working in the bank.
How long were you there?
I was there for 14 years. I started
Wow,
with
14 is a long time.
With the Equity Bank before
Yes.
moving to Cooperative Bank, and I was
Yes.
just like, each and every moment was a thrill for me. But now I had come to a place where it no longer satisfied. I just
Yes.
felt like there was something more.
Yes.
And this is being triggered by even the birth of my baby, and just thinking, this is too a small space.
Yes,
and
yes.
there's something that God was calling me to do.
Yes.
So I
Could you
started-
kindly describe that feeling? Because I know there's someone out there who is listening to this and they would want to understand, what is that feeling? When people say, I had a feeling that I needed something more, I was meant for more. Could you break it down to a listener to just get them to understand what that feeling is like?
Yeah, I just remember I was getting good money while I was being paid well. I couldn't complain about it, and I had a name. I was in the management, and I just, in human standards, my job is envied by other people.
Yes.
But then there was unrest in my heart that God, okay, so I am in this banking sector. I'm here. I've come. Yes, I've been paid. But what? When everything is said and done, it's just this customer I saw, and whatever they came for is what I helped them do.
Yes.
Some was not even important, or I had gone through the system until I could do things on autopilot. I could not think beyond
everything.
The way even when you're on leave and someone is holding up for you, you could tell them, turn on the left, pick that file, go to the system, up there, you see the 3 dots. Yeah, there was nothing more.
There was no
There was no challenge. And I had just settled. There was no, I think I was just, I would go to work and come back.
Yes.
And actually, I remember in 2021, there was that realization that, even reading books, the things that I really loved from young age, and I didn't have, because you're exhausted. You wake up in the morning, you're running through the traffic.
It's an 8 to 5,
Yes.
8 to 5 daily.
No. It is not 8 to 5.
Yes.
The employment letter says 8 to 5, but in reality, people wake up at 4.
True.
They prepare their children, they do whatever it is. They run through the traffic. Most people in Nairobi live around 6 from their houses.
To get to
and they
8.
will come back at 9. So is that job 8 to 5?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And then you don't just leave when the job, because it is 5, you have to complete
you have to
what
hand
you
over,
have done.
do all that, yes.
Yeah, so in the banking sector, you would realize at 5 is when everyone is in the banking hall. So by the time you are going to close, it's around 7, it's around 7:30 or 6:30 or whatever. Then there are other inside processes that come in. You need to close up, you need to make sure that everything is okay before you leave. So it is 8 to 5, but that is on paper. But in reality, that's not.
Now, Redempta, I'm curious, and I know others are curious as well. If the job was paying your bills, because mostly we get jobs to pay our bills.
Yeah.
You want that predictable lifestyle.
Yes.
Get to do this shopping, what this amount, pay for your child this and this and this bills. And it's there, things it's good. I mean, everyone else thinks it is good, but you're feeling this unrest. Now, what was that? I don't know. I want to ask that idea that you woke up one morning and decided, this is it. I can't do anymore. What was that? Was we call it a final straw. This was it. This is the day I'm leaving. And then what are you leaving to go and do? Was it, had you figured all that out? Or were you to just leave and then go and think, Mr. Husband, take care of me as I sort myself out? Please take us through that.
Okay.
The transition.
Yeah. So let me start by saying, I think from where I come from, or from the knowledge of school that I have had to go through, I've never had to think that any man or any woman should sit down and wait for the other party to take care of them.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have to contribute, especially in this 21st century, that we need to be able to contribute to that table.
Yes.
Yeah. So also the other thing is that by that time when I was feeling like I need to leave, the first time I actually felt like I need to leave, it's just, that unrest, and I'm just thinking I can go out there and do so many other things. There was that idea in my head that I can go do this and this.
Yes.
But I remember writing my resignation letter and sending it to my boss. And my boss was like, why do you want to quit? And my boss just felt like maybe it's because I have a baby and the pressure of just leaving the baby. But that was not it. There was something in me that, there is more to life. But what she did is that she told me, now, I don't have a problem with you leaving, but what are you going to do? How are you going to do? What is the plan? What is the strategy? Then I realized, yes, I knew what I'm going to do, but I didn't have a strategy. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes self-awareness will not just come from yourself, but people around you that are aware of what happens can actually activate that. So who are you sitting with and what can they help you? So I remember my boss helping me just to understand. I shared with her, this is what I want to go do, this is what I want. And she's like, have you started doing it? Have you tested this idea? Do you know if it will work? And I remember she told me, I'm going to keep this letter. I'm not going to forward it. If by 1 week you come to me and tell me still forward the letter, I will. If not, I will not. So she kept the letter. And in that 1 week, there was just, she's right. There was just an awakening. This is what I want to do. But she's right. So what I decided to do, I decided to expand my vision and my dream. Suddenly I was like, this is what I want to do. And even the energy that had gone low in my workplace, suddenly I was rejuvenated because then I had a focus. Then I decided, you know what? I am going to now arrange my finances. I've been getting money, just go dine, move, give anyone who wants, but I've never really saved for this transition. So instead of now shrinking my dreams, I decided to enlarge my faith. Because there is nothing wrong with my dreams. I just need to now have the faith that this will come to pass. But then these are the strategies, the steps, and everything that I will need to bring my dream. So since I was very interested in writing, I started writing. I didn't even have a computer or something. I started writing on my phone. My first 2 books, I wrote them on my phone.
Nice.
And then I decided, you know what? I want to be better. How can I be better?
So you're doing all this still
in
working.
Employment. And in fact, at this particular time when I'm still at employment, I even became better because then now there was a renewed energy and focus that I am doing this with a vision in mind. So I wasn't just
you have an exit plan.
Yes. I wasn't just moving through the motion. So I finally found an exit plan. But now my exit plan was, yes, this money is going to be important. I actually started saving intentionally, started making small shifts here and there. And that's what really happened. And also towards my dream that this is what I want to do and this is how I want to do, I had prayed about it. It was clear. Many people had confirmed about it. I also shared with my spiritual mother and she was praying about it and we were sharing. So it gave me a lot of confidence and I just started working in it and telling God, open doors for me in this particular. And also just realizing that, we can't succeed in isolation. We are human beings and we grow when we collaborate with others. So I looked for a coach. I started going through coaching. And then I realized, this is what I want to do. I need training. I need certification. So I even went to do courses in coaching. I also did Clarity4D, which I think we did together. So that we can be able to train people on personality profiling to help them get solutions for their own self-awareness and even leadership and management. How do they staff their employees? And also the tasks they give them, are they able to do it or we are stretching them beyond limits? So I just started planning. I started waking up in the morning, just having the discipline, just small things that really made a difference.
I want to point something out. When you started talking, this other part of that you found the clarity and you just got this awareness and you thought about the exit plan, your face started glowing just now.
Because
the excitement.
I just remember.
I just said the excitement. Like you switched and it was evident that was really an aha moment. And it's okay to have many aha moments. Because in life, what was aha yesterday will not be aha tomorrow. But your journey is simply interesting. like you are a bold woman, I must say that.
Yeah.
Yes, you must be a very bold woman to make these kind of decisions and just to do so much and still, still in employment, you're writing your books. Now, you've mentioned something that I want us to unpack a little bit.
Yes.
About people, that sometimes people will tell you your strengths that you're not even aware of. Okay? Can we unpack that? Because I also know people who will try to drag you back because your vision is too big for them to handle. They can't see it the way you see it. All right? So there are two kinds of people. As much as we want to have those relationships, sometimes it's also good to sieve. Maybe you can take us through that a little bit on the relationships. How do you know that the kind of people I'm keeping around me are the right people? They're pushing me forward towards my destiny, and I feel, so I don't have to dim my lights. I don't have to dim me to make myself smaller to fit into their circles. All right? So could you take us through that a little bit?
So can I let you know, just before I go into that, but can I just let you know that
sure.
even before we start choosing the people who speak into our lives or the people around us, we really, really have to start with self-awareness.
Yeah.
Now, when you are self-aware, it means you have built confidence.
Yes.
You have clarity about how you are showing up.
Yes.
What are my strengths?
Yeah.
And what is the vision that I have for my life? So when you hear about self-awareness, these people have dreams, have visions, have their goals, and then they know their strength, that for me to accomplish this vision, this goal, this is what I need. And they know their weaknesses as well. So they know if I do this, I'll not be able to. So you realize that because you know what you want, the vibrations around you are aligning to your vision. But if you don't know who you are, there is a lot of insecurities. Because insecurities stink. And when it stinks, it sends away the right people because they can't stand it. And it attracts people who come to self-sabotage you. Because when you hear people saying, I'm not good enough, you just suddenly realize that these people don't have self-awareness. Because not good enough, it means that they don't even believe in their abilities. They don't believe in their abilities to make the right decisions. They don't believe that they can actually make a contribution or a great impact in anyone's life, including themselves. And then you realize that they have very low self-esteem. And you can be sure low self-esteem can never really attract a very high person who is very confident. In fact, when you have very low self-esteem, people who are very confident come out as arrogant, as insensitive. Because people know what they want. Really, when I come to you and I just tell you what I want, and you're used to beating around the bush, you tend to be defensive.
I'll put up walls.
You put up
I'll
walls.
put up walls. I'll try, of course, avoid you because you're making me
feel insecure.
Which I already know I am. So I'll avoid you.
My confidence irritates the demon of insecurity.
You can say that again. That is deep. Please say that again.
Okay. So when you're self-aware, it means that there is confidence. So the confidence always calls out the insecurities in other people. So you will realize people actually avoid you, not because there is a problem, but because you have irritated the insecurities inside. You've made them see that, there is that admiration. I wish I could be like her. But then they are not able to be because there is a lot of self-esteem issues. There is a lot of self-sabotages. There is a lot of analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis is where someone knows what they need to do, but they keep analyzing it, going in circles, looking at why it should work, why it will not work, until they talk themselves out of that decision. And then you also actually find that there is a lot of manipulation because you're not self-aware. People manipulate you, trick you into doing things that you would not have otherwise done if you're self-aware. So you end up being a puppet. You end up being underworked, or not underworked, overworked.
Overworked, yes.
And yet that it was not overworked, even in the wrong things that you're not supposed to do. So that having said that there is that, I need to also say that when you have self-awareness, then you have strategies to beat any other vices, whether it is self-sabotage, whether it's procrastination, whether it is self-esteem. So when you are self-aware, you know that for sure, this is me, this is the vision I have, this is the dreams I have, these are my strengths. Then it means that you're going to wake up and actually go forward with what you're doing.
Yes.
So like let me say, for me, when I became self-aware and I became aware of the possibilities that I could create, because I realized there is so much potential in me, and the only thing that was going to bring out that potential is me. No one else can bring the potential out of you. So I just had to, like, this is not going to be by my own powers. I knew the fact that I know God, I know I can trust him. He can give me the strength and the ability. So I started looking at it like, okay, what I want today or the dreams I have today, tomorrow might expand, and I'm okay to expand as it goes. And then now I come to this place of, I don't have to wait until I am there. I don't have to wait until everything is okay. So you find that just knowing where I want to go and how I need to go, it makes my space. I even get inclined and attuned to the right people. But if someone is not, let me say, when I started working on the journey of my purpose and this self-awareness, I cut off a lot of friends, and it was not intentional. And it is not like, Becky, I don't want to work with you again. It just aligned. Like, you know what? I no longer have time for the things I used to do. So you miss me today, you miss me tomorrow, and then the relationship just fades like that. But then I started aligning with the people who are going where I was going. I started aligning with relationships that were adding value. I started cutting off things that were not necessary. So you find that I started even reading books. Your schedule, when you're self-aware and you have a vision, your life is kind of disciplined, and there is a program for something. So you just keep aligning into it. And the people you meet along the line of alignment are the people who are supposed to be on your path. And anyone who is not on that path, it means they are basically doing their own thing. So you just get separated.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because, women, especially, let's talk about women. I don't know about men, but women, we get emotionally entangled. We want to hold on to a friend we had when we were 6 years old. And we want to take them with us to where we are going. Of course, sometimes it becomes very hard. Because remember, they have their purpose, you have yours. Talked about alignment. They are not in alignment with your vibes, with your energy, with anything about you, and it becomes problematic. Now, for people who are watching and they would want to know, at what point do I let go a relationship? All right? Whether a woman, man, how do I know it's time to let go? Because I've seen people struggling with that. I've seen people really just sitting down with people and allowing people to take a lot of their time and energy. And by the end of the day, they're feeling so wasted and tired. And, I spent my whole day doing nothing. Right? And these people, we know personalities are different, and we'll talk about that. Your personality, I know your personality is very easy. You can just wake up and go. Others will want to, what can I do? Can I go back and just tell her it's not about them? It's not them, it's me, it's
people
my
pleasing.
Of course, people pleasing, because personalities are different. So what would you advise our viewers who are watching? Because again, there's that fear of, what if I let go? I've built on this relationship for 10 years. And I know where I'm going. This relationship cannot serve me there. Okay? So what would you advise them?
So, number one advice, be self-aware. Because if you are self-aware, for sure, you will know. And just like I have said, there is none of my friends I ever had to tell, you know what? I don't want you. They are just those who faded away because we were no longer vibing. Why? I just knew where I was going. So I focused on the journey instead of people.
Okay.
So self-awareness makes you focus. It's like a GPS. Like now, this is where I'm going. And you just go. And when you're going, you don't keep looking at the rear view, the rear mirror. When you're driving, you can't drive like this.
You have
like
to
you
keep
can't
looking
go
at where you're
back
going.
Yes. You just keep focus.
Yes.
And you just take care of your journey ahead. Anyone who is on your journey will catch up with you, or they are ahead of you, or you pick them along the way. So you focus. And that is what self-awareness, I would say, is. And just to say another thing also, today you might be self-aware and then you get lost. It is something that we need to continuously.
It's a journey.
Because we are discovering ourselves.
Yes.
And self-discovery takes a lifelong. Like the day you were born till you die, you keep discovering yourself. You keep updating yourself. And I love to use this example. Let me give you. Now, if you're going to travel, like let's say we are going to leave here to go to Naivasha. We have a car parked, gasoline full. We have the GPS. We know the destination. We know everywhere we are going. But if you don't have the key to that car, you're not going anywhere.
That's an interesting analogy.
Going anywhere. And for this manner, if you have ever heard about a key, I want you to write it down. Let's write it together.
Yes.
We have K, we have E, and then we have Y.
Yes.
What that literally means is that keep educating yourself. So each and every day is a learning day.
Yes.
So you might have this vision, but along the way, God expands and also gives you resources along that. But if you're not self-aware, you won't know that, I actually have something in me, or there's someone who can help me.
Yes.
Like now, let me give you an example. Like now, me and Becky, we've been doing a bit of trainings, especially. And you should see us training. We have completely different strengths.
Yes.
Like there is a vibe each and every person of us brings on the board. So how am I able to know that? I'm able to know that because I know who I am. I know my personality, and I know what she brings on board, because I am aware of myself and the people around me. That is what is most important. And I just want to say that you will never be able to realize what is in your environment, or you will never be able to make your environment right if you're not right from inside. If from inside you've not been able to know yourself, to make things right with you, because you attract who you are, not what you wish for.
Now, Redempta, now we were talking about inner identity. Actually, that was my next question. How do we align that inner identity with the outer identity? And I'll give you an example. Something happened to me many years ago. I had a boss. I used to work for another lady. And so I was just there following her everywhere we're going, to big clients, to all these corporate clients. And so I remember we would enter in a room and people would address me. They would be like, no, I'm not the boss. She is the boss, And every time I would really, really wonder, why would they ask me those things? She is the one. People asking for their payments, for whatever. And then I think she noticed. And she asked me one day, do you know Rebecca? She called me Rebecca. Do you know, Rebecca, you have a strong presence? I was like, what? I could not imagine that she told me that. I had never seen myself in that light. Never, ever before that day. Okay? And I went and I thought about it. Why would she tell me that? Then now I started going back and thinking, why is it that people put me in a place when I'm out there, that I put myself in a lower place, in a lower platform, and everywhere I go, people expect me to be. So when I do not see it, there's a problem. There's a clash of identity. So I go to a place and I'm given a front seat. I want to go at the back seat. I want to be invisible. I want to be, I want to just fade in there. But now with time, I came to realize that, there's the inner me that I need to work on. So could you kindly take us through that? How do we align that inner identity with our outer identity? Because I've seen that. It could be either inner, you're very strong, and outside people don't conceive you, don't see you as strong, or the other way around. So how do we bring this identity together and align it?
So I could say that is all about self-image. Most of the time, that is about self-image. And when you talk about self-image, we have the concept of self. Now, the concept of self, we can say, how do you perceive your worth?
Yes.
How you perceive your worth is something that could make you arise or shrink. Now, this thing about self-worth comes from our childhood experiences, the traumas that we've gone through, the environments in which we stay. There might have been some times when you did something and you felt so proud, but someone just came and slammed it like, this is all you could do? Is this all you could? They just made you shrink. So you associated that whatever you had accomplished and everything with that negative statement that had been said.
And the Kiswahili word is kimbelembele.
Kimbelembele, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you see, there are people who are self-confident, even if people don't, they're just self-aware. People don't even regard them highly, but they just know,
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Fine.
I'm fine.
I'm fine with my own skin. Yeah.
I'm good with my own skin. It comes from that self-awareness concept. And I also want to say that the way you present yourself, there are people who just present themselves like, life revolves around me. And there are those who are like, hey, me, I think, I don't want. So you even find that even ladies, especially most of the time ladies, I want to speak to you. Even someone gives you a compliment and says, you look nice. And then you want to tell them, Kai, and the way even my nails, I took like 10 years to, like it's been here for 10 years. My hair, and you're like, you want to like downplay the compliment.
That is very common with us women.
That is not right. If someone gives you a compliment, take it and take it. Now, another thing what would help you to show up also confidently. Let me just finish that point on self-image. So I was saying, even when we talk about self-image, you realize that your appearance, your presence, the way you talk, the way you perceive things, that is exactly how people perceive you. So when you're confident, you're articulate with what you're saying, you know what you're saying, people will perceive you as that. But if you don't know what you're saying, you're not aware what you're saying, then people will also perceive you as that. Now, how do we make sure that our inside matches with our outside? Then we have to start. The best way to actually boost your self-confidence is, number one, to change your mind about what you're speaking.
Of course,
You need to believe that you're worth. You need to believe that
it's a work that you need first to work from inside. I need to believe it first.
You need to speak to yourself.
And I need to affirm myself.
Instead of saying, oh, I don't look good. Walk in the mirror and you're like, there is no
amazing.
Other beautiful person like me. I got this. You have to be bold. You have to be fearless. Like it doesn't matter even how I look today, but I believe that I can work to look like I want to. So you don't just let yourself go, but you start working on yourself. Another thing is that how do we build confidence even from the inside? Is the promises that after you've just spoken to yourself the right thing, you have affirmed yourself. We need to learn to keep our own promises. You see, when you tell yourself you will do something and then you do it, it builds your self-confidence. But if you tell yourself this year I'm going to work out and I'm going to cut 20 kgs. Then you go day 1, day 2. Even before you lose just a few, you give up. It cuts on your self-confidence.
It does.
Because you can't be able to trust. You can't be able to trust yourself. But when you can keep your own promises, if you say, I will be waking up in the morning every day at 5, and you do that, it means it gives you the confidence. Even if I talk to you and I tell you I'll do something, you can bank on my word. But if not, it takes a toll on my confidence. So you ask someone and they're like, I don't know. They are undecided. Why? They can't trust themselves.
They can't trust themselves.
And
so they can't even be trusted.
And they can't be trusted. So if I don't trust myself, how can you trust me? So they are just there. So it needs to be a work from inside, and it is a long journey that you have to be intentional and deliberate on working on it.
But I love it that there's hope. I mean, it can be done.
It can be done because
now when we talk about experiences that shaped us when we were little, we went through extreme situations. People have gone through extreme situations. If they give you the stories, you would be very, very surprised.
Very true.
You know, and we see people walking on the streets, what they've been through, it's much. So the thing is, you were abused as a child. You were, treated unfairly. And you grew up feeling unworthy and not good enough. All right? Like we just said that, the story we gave. So you grew up with knowing or thinking or believing very less of yourself. And so when you find people, that is what you project.
Yes.
All right?
Your insecurity.
Your insecurities. You project it on other people. And that's what you see from everybody else. And now the thing is, I know, of course, some cases you need to go to a therapist.
Yes.
Because they have some extreme cases. But now I'm also thinking that you said something very interesting. You said, all you need to do is shift your mindset.
Yes.
Just change your mind about yourself. Change your mind. Change your stories you're giving yourself to yourself. Change those stories. You know, I went to a very bad school. Surely. That cannot be the excuse forever and ever and ever. You know, my parents didn't buy me this. My parents didn't buy me that. They didn't get me, what I wanted. And those excuses, you continue holding them down at 40 years, at 45. Surely.
I actually said last weekend I was speaking somewhere and I told the young people, it does not matter your past.
Yeah.
And I want to say even to the elder people, it does not matter your past.
Yes.
And I want to be, it's not insensitive, but I want to just pass this message to you.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you were abused when you were young. It doesn't matter whether you lost your parents when you were young. Oh, it is even sad that some of us have lost our spouses. We've lost children. We've lost... Let me say, not that those people don't matter. Not that those experiences don't matter. But it doesn't matter in terms of holding you that you can't reach your destiny. Between you today and your destiny, the only person who can make it happen is you.
Yes.
Now, these things have happened.
Yes.
But then I want to say, can we use our pain?
Yes.
Can we use our frustration? Can we use the things we've gone through to steward and propel us towards a better future?
Right.
It is fine. Things have happened, but God is able to heal the brokenhearted.
Yes.
God is able to renew you. Now, you just need to align. What is your mind? Stop being a victim. Because if you maintain a victim mentality, you are most likely end up like the situations that happen to you. But when you pick up a victor's mentality, then it means that there is nothing that can be able to stop you.
Nothing
and let's say,
you,
let's talk about this for a while. There's nothing you can do about your past.
Yes.
My dad passed on 13 years ago. I was just joining campus and there was no one to pay my school fees. I could have sat there and said, you know what? I will not go to school. It is over, and go back home.
Yeah.
And never amount to anything, you know?
Yes.
But also, I was like, you know what, Dad, I knew you wanted me to finish school. Therefore, I am going to do whatever it takes to make you proud.
Yes.
You understand? So you can choose to look at it positively and move forward, or you can choose to look at it negatively. So whatever it is, there is that emotional pain of loss of someone, or there is that pain of violation, abuse as a person, or there's that pain of the neglect, the abandonment that you went through. My question is, what are you going to do about these pains to help you push forward?
Yes.
Like, for example, myself, my history is long. I will not even go into it, but I can just say everything that I ever went through, every pain, I could feel it. But let me tell you, it fueled me because I never wanted to be in those situations again. When it comes to poverty, today, one of the things that I hate and I abhor is poverty. So what do? I cannot do a little folding of my hands, a little slumber. No, I wake up knowing that I don't want my children to ever stand and say, I came from a poor family. No, let them have another different reason, which I hope they will not have. But I just want to make sure that, I provide the best for them. And not just the best for them, also to just give me a peace of mind. So that is the things that you don't have to say. You don't have to repeat the history of where you're coming from. You don't have to repeat the history of your parents. You need need to just arise and create a future for yourself. And God has given us that ability that we can actually create a better future for ourselves. We can become better. There are limitless opportunities and possibilities ahead of us. We only need faith. I usually say faith is like it's the domino yenye ukipush, every other thing just falls and opens up to you. So we just need to trust in God, have faith in God, have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, like your life depends on it, because it does depend on it.
It does.
Yeah.
And
don't let anyone shrink you down. Actually, anything that anyone will have ever tell you, especially the negative ones, it doesn't matter. What you tell yourself is what matters.
That is what matters. Yeah, because I have a choice.
Yes.
If you tell me you don't like my lips,
I can choose to stick there.
That is your opinion, and it's okay, and you're entitled to your opinion, and that's your problem.
That is your problem.
Because my lips are mine,
Yeah.
So now, I know people are watching and wondering, okay, we like all this, and I want to understand myself better. I want to understand who am I really and how best do I show up? You say, remember when you give the example of how we train and we know our different spaces.
Yeah.
I know I can't be you, can't be me.
Yes.
Our energies are totally different, right? Somebody would want to know, is there a tool that we can use to actually know verbatim, know that I am like this because of this. Like, for example, I am a morning person. My family does not like that. I can be singing in the morning and doing all manner of things, very early morning. Okay, not your early morning. I know you have an earlier morning. This is not in comparison, my early, but I'm a morning person. And before I knew why, I didn't know that when I was in school. I should have taken advantage of that time to study, because at that time, I will really understand and absorb everything very, very easily. So, but of course now, given the tools that we're about to talk about, now I get to know myself even better, to know that because I'm a morning person, this is what I do in the morning. The hardest of my jobs is when I do that in the morning. I tackle that in the morning. Then going through the day, if I need to watch a movie or whatever, I'll do that later in the day, because I know at that point I don't have a lot of concentration. So can you take us through these tools, because I know we train that with you, and the difference you have seen both personally and professionally for people who have applied these tools? Yes.
The number one tool I can talk about, and probably it just supersedes any other tool, is Clarity4D.
Yes.
That Clarity4D is a program that I when I was planning my exit, and also I had seen it at my workplace. I remember the first time we did it, there was this awareness, and I'm like, this is why I behave the way I behave.
Yes.
This is why I do the things I do. But I was not aware. And when I did that, when I used that tool and I was able to know myself in a better way, I even actually went to school. I remember we went with Becky to actually get certified so that we can be able to train, because it was such an aha moment for us. And Clarity4D is basically the 4 Ds. The first D is about self-awareness. Like, how do I see do I see myself? And how do you see yourself is the natural wiring that you have. It's the preference of doing things. Like, this is me. Like the way she's saying that I like mornings, it doesn't mean she can't function at night, but her preference is morning. It's like someone asking you coffee or tea. We do all of it, but what do I like most? So that is the preference, that this is the way we show up. Like now, for example, like for me, if I was to describe myself, I would say I'm fearless, I'm bold, I'm God-fearing, I'm disciplined. But now when you come to Clarity4D, you actually realize, this is why I'm bold. Because this is how I show up. This is how I am made, And you actually realize that, I have so many characteristics, but these ones are the ones that stands out. And then Clarity2D is, how do people see you? Now, Sometimes
Yes.
when you come out, like for example, now myself, when I come out as a bold person,
Yes.
many people think she's arrogant.
Yes.
Oh, she's insensitive. You
Yeah.
get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
someone else maybe takes time, a lot of time to just, when you ask them a question, they will answer you like 2 months down the line, 3 months
Yes.
down the line.
Yeah.
It is not their mistake. It
Yes.
is their wiring.
Yes.
They want to think about it. They want to
Yes.
make sure they give you a correct and an awesome answer.
Yes.
The thing is, do you know that? So that if you're my friend and I am
Yes.
this person who wants an answer chap,
Yes.
and my friend takes time to give it,
Yes.
it means that I will be frustrated.
Yes.
My relationship will be constrained.
Yeah.
But if I understand this is how they are made,
Yes.
and this is how I am made, I will
Yes.
try to, like, you know what? I don't have to receive that answer
Yes.
immediately, but I could give them small time. And then they will be like, I know I might not answer right now, but just give me a
Yes.
few
Yes.
minutes. So you meet in the middle.
Yes.
So just being aware of how you show up and how people see you,
Yeah.
make you blend so that the communication is effective.
Yes.
Like, for example, even in the house spouses. So one is extremely on the other side, another one is extremely on the other side.
Yep.
But if you understood your partner and they understood you, you meet in the middle, and then there is cohesion in your relationship.
Yes,
There is
yes,
growth,
yes.
there is...
You avoid the frictions that ordinarily would show up because of your different personalities.
Yes. And then you find that 3D is about diversify.
Yes.
Now we are not saying ati you're just gonna be there and not stretch yourself. That, you know, that myth that people say, this is just the way I am.
Yeah.
There is no one who is just the way they are.
Yes.
We all have the ability to grow.
Yes.
We all have the ability to stretch.
Yes.
We have the ability to reach out to people,
Yes.
even people who are of different personalities and
Yes.
characteristics, because
Yes.
we are not living in an isolation.
Yes.
We are living in a community.
Yes.
And if we have to be effective in our community, if we have to impact our community, it means we have to be able to understand each and every person from where they are coming from and how we are projecting ourselves to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the 4D, whereby we say develop. Now, this is how you see yourself. Can you stretch because you are actually working with a boss who is completely opposite?
Yes.
So you can't just tell them, you know what, boss? This is
I'm not a morning person.
I'm not a morning person, and you're supposed to come up in the morning.
Yeah.
So it means that you develop yourself so that you stretch to be able to accommodate. But if you are aware that you're stretching, it gives you the power rather than grumbling and you know, just having the frustration of complaining. I don't understand why we don't get. They hate me. You realize they don't hate you. They are just who they are. They are in their element. But now, and you understand that, you know, my boss doesn't like this. This is how I approach them. This is what I do. This is how you keep peace, because you're self-aware and you know what needs to be taken. So it's one of the most powerful tools that I can. Actually, there is none that
I have not experienced another better than that, because it's very practical and very easy to use.
Very easy.
And it really helps you even understand how to navigate your own life.
Yes.
Even in career, because now you could be in a career that makes you feel inadequate or not enough for it. But going through these tools, you get to understand, maybe is it that my personality is wrongly placed in the it's
work
wrongly
that
placed. Yes. So now, could you kindly take us through again, just on the colors, because I know these are color energies. Just touch a little bit so that people understand. I know we have had different tools that have different ways of, acknowledging the different personalities. But this one, we talk about energies and colors and how people show up. And I like the part that you say that no one was created to be in a space not to evolve, not to change. Everyone has capacity to change. Everyone has capacity to stretch, to become, maybe it's not comfortable at that point, but it is necessary.
Yes.
It is necessary for your growth.
Yes.
So could you kindly just touch on the colors, the different color energies?
So we have 4 colors when it comes to Clarity4D.
Yes.
And the 4 colors, we have the red, which is represented by fire. And that simply means that these people are the people who are very decisive in the way they make their decision.
Yes.
And they are these people who are very, very forthright. You know? They are decisive. They are forthright.
Yes.
And they make decisions very fast and act very fast. And these people usually come out as very bold.
Yes.
These people usually, they know what they want.
Yes.
They can't beat around the bush.
Yes.
And they can be seen as very arrogant, very insensitive in the way they do their things.
Yeah.
But it is just the way genetically they are made. And you find that even in our institutions, they are the ones that run the organization.
True.
Because when they decide this is what we are doing,
and they move
come
things.
rain, come sunshine, it will have to be done. And it will be done now, not tomorrow. So you will realize that the red energy is the one that is always propelling us to actually make a movement. Because as I go on, I'll show you other colors that if you leave them, they will never do anything. They will never change anything. So you find that red makes us, the red energy makes people move, makes the vision move.
Yes.
Then we have the blue energy.
Yes.
Blue energy is represented by waters, deep waters. You find that these guys are calm.
Yes.
They don't have fluctuations of emotions. They are calm and they are quiet. So when you see these people, they are deep thinking. They are very reflective. These are the people you ask a question and you need to give them time to actually think through and process. And they don't just talk to you when they are not sure about anything. They just need facts. They have to have facts. They have to have figures. It has to make sense to them. So when you find such a person and you are a red who needs an answer now, you might be frustrated by them because they want to think about it. They want to see the end game. They want to see, is it aligning?
Is it practical?
Is it practical? That is logical and practical. That is what they want to see. So you will find that they are calm but very deep. So if you jump in water just thinking it, you will. If you don't know how to swim, you will surely drown. So you just give them time, you let them calm down and move on. Then we have the color green. So we said the red people usually want, let's do this and let's do it now. And then the blue guys are like, let's do this, but let's do it right.
Yes, do it perfectly.
It doesn't matter how long, but let's do it right perfectly. And then now we have the color green. The color green, this is represented by the earth. They are solid, calm, people. They don't like conflicts. They don't have a lot of stories. They're just humble. And most of the time, these people are focused on people. They are people-centered. They want to understand. They will take up a lot of jobs that are not necessarily theirs because they just want to please you. They don't know how to tell you no. They just want, it's fine, we'll do it. So they end up being overwhelmed most of the time. And the truth about these people is that when they are overwhelmed, they end up doing nothing. Because everything is overwhelming and we don't know where to start from.
And so we call them procrastinators.
Yes, we call them procrastinators. But in reality is that they just wanted to please. They didn't know why.
They said yes when they should have said no.
Yes, they didn't want to tell you no.
And they needed to ask for more time. They didn't.
They didn't. And they cannot just face the red ones who want things now and then. So they just have to, they shrink back. You see? When you know... when you know this is how I am and I'm likely to be taken advantage and I'm likely to be manipulated to do someone else's work, you stand up for yourself because you are self-aware. You're like, no.
That's not where self-awareness comes in.
Like I remember, I could take up a lot of jobs, especially, and sometimes I would just feel overwhelmed. But today, I'm so self-aware that if it's not working, I'll just you know what? I can't be available and I can't do that because I'm not going to kill myself to please you. And I'm not about to lose my sleep because I want to please you so that I go frustrating myself. No. I just said no. Even this podcast, the first time I was asked, I said no. And I was like, can you reschedule it to another time?
That's true.
That's true. You need to be aware of yourself and then move on. And then the last color is yellow. Yellow is represented by air. Like it is, the most, it's always like a breath of fresh air all the time. These are vibrant people, very animated like Becky. Very animated. People who, outgoing. They bring the vibe in the room. When you meet them, you're like, oh my God, I wish I had half the energy. And some people are like, she's overwhelming
too
me
much
with that energy. So when you understand that and you know what it means, because again, these guys are very creative, they are very innovative. So you realize that when they want to do something, it's not just about let's do it. It's about let's do it together. Together, they want to feed on each other's energy so that they can do it. Now, when you understand that, you're not about to take a job that isolates you. You sit alone 10 hours, you will die of depression. So this person can't really do that. Even if they do, they will have stretched, and over time, their energy will be drained, and then they will start losing the aura of their spark. So you just find someone is just sad nowadays and everything. It's because what makes them alive has been taken away from them. But what if they were aligned to what they really want to do? They will keep the energy up.
If they knew what was happening, they actually knew what was happening. I like this, and as you're talking, I'm thinking of a family where, you have like 3 children. And so there's a father who is maybe a red, and you have a child who is a green, and the father your wife is yellow, and so the man of the house is like, you know what, you are the laziest human being I've ever seen. I told you to do this and I told you to do that. What's happening? These Gen Zs, nowadays, that's the popular term we have in Kenya. These Gen Zs of today, and we put them all on the same pedestal, and it's not true. It's just that personality that you don't understand, that you overwhelmed them and they didn't say no. All right? So I'm thinking families should take this tool and do it together.
Yes, they should. And also just to make sure that I mention, and even those colors, the way we've described them, anytime you see someone, you don't see the colors the way you always see their weakness before you see their strength.
True that.
So when you're looking at this, for example, if you're a blue, the person who is very quiet, when you're looking at a yellow color, you're just overwhelmed by their noise and everything, but you don't realize their creative and innovative side.
You only see that negative side.
We only see the negative side, as until we sit with these people, we come to understand, and you realize, wow, these guys are beautiful. And that could explain why most couples and everyone, we always go for the negative, the opposite colors.
The opposite
because those are the things that are least for us, and we are always looking for them. So you find yourself just going for the opposite colors.
Yeah, because I think we feel like they complement us.
Yes, they do.
They come to that's a feeling. Although now when you get inside that house, and if you're not aware of your differences,
you start noticing only the negative.
Now you just see the
she's
negatives.
Nagging,
she's loud.
She's loud. But in reality, their strength is what attracted you to them.
Interesting. Redempta, if someone wanted to do this course, I don't know, it's not a course, it's just a program that you can take someone through. Would you be available to do that for them?
We are available.
For teenagers, I'm thinking teenagers need this, because you have a teenager in the house, 14, 15 years old, who don't know why people don't like them, and they're trying to please everyone, and it's too much for them. You have couples, people want to get married, and they don't know, is it the right, is she the right one? You have, like we said, families, we have bosses with the employees. Like I know there's a training we did, and we were telling the boss, hey, you should have more marketers that are yellow.
I remember,
because now we just realized yellow people are easy to talk to people. It's easy for them.
The
they don't overthink.
Who can do the PR.
They can talk to everyone. They have good PR. So we know that so many people need this tool. So I know you will be gracious enough to take us through these programs, and maybe you can tell us more about that.
So I think it's a very long conversation. If you would like to know yourself and understand yourself better and see yourself in a more light than you've ever done, and also be able to understand the people, your environment, whether you're married, your children, your spouse, or at work, please, you should be able to reach out to us. We do Clarity4D training, and you can reach out, inquire about a few things. I think you could be gracious enough to share a link or something.
Yes, we can put a link down below.
They can reach out, and we will be able to help you. And let me tell you, that is worth your time. It will be worth your investment in all sense. And it is just one of the things that is amazing in the world. I could tell you that.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Knowing thyself.
Knowing,
My gosh.
I think I almost said the Bible, but I remember Aristotle saying that knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom.
It is the beginning of wisdom. It
Yeah,
truly is.
yeah.
It truly is. Because now you get to know when to say yes, when to say no. You get to know no is a complete answer.
And I also had another one saying that yesterday I wanted to, I was, I wanted to change the world, but today I'm wiser. I want to change myself.
I want to change myself.
Yeah, because
that is the greatest achievement.
Yes.
Wow, Redempta, that is amazing. I've really enjoyed this session. I've enjoyed this conversation. I'm sure so many people have learned so much about themselves that they didn't know even before this. And we have my greatest takeaway from this conversation is that growth begins with self-awareness.
Yes.
You're right? Because once you get to know thyself, then you start movement.
Yes.
You start growing. You enjoy life.
Yes.
Suddenly you can smell the roses.
Yes,
and the lilies. Suddenly life is good. Everyone is good. They're not enemies. They're good people.
Yes.
It's me because I'm now, I'm now looking inside and I'm building myself and I'm working on me.
Yes.
Right? So thank you so much for this. This was amazing. Thank you for being very vulnerable with us. Thank you for just going on and expressing and, you have expressed yourself in a very good way. And I feel we have really exhausted this topic. And but I'm sure if anyone would want to have deeper discussion on this, have it more personalized, feel free. You can DM your link will be there. I think you will have your emails, or you prefer to use Instagram?
I think all my platforms
are
open. Redempta Kanja on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And on Facebook, I operate as After One Kind Club. So it's very open.
Good. Thank you very much.
And I think maybe a closing shot.
Yes.
I would love to say this, that the thing I realized about self-awareness is you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
And I just want to use this to demonstrate that, you know what?
Yes.
Don't take what is inside here to pour to someone else, but allow them to feed from the overflow that is coming up. Because then you are able to be authentic, you're able to be yourself, and you're able to give the fullness of what is flowing out of you. But anytime you pour from your cup and you're not able to replenish it, it means that you remain with that deficiency. So over time you realize that you're not as energetic, as vibrant, and as you are supposed to be. So the best thing about self-awareness is to keep inputting, to keep feeding ourselves. And what I mean is that what books are you reading? Who are you working with as friends? What is your schedule like? What is your relationship with God and yourself? Just being able to believe in yourself, believe in God, build your faith. Because when you build your faith, your fears shrink. So you're able to live a life of impact. You're able to live a life that is meaningful even to the people around you. So please, all I could say is that when it comes to personal development, please pour out of everything that is coming as an overflow. Because it becomes a good thing. And that, for you to maintain an overflow, it means that you have to keep pouring. And that pouring is learning. Keep educating yourself. What we said, the key is very important. So you keep educating yourself. As you keep doing that, you become better and better. So with time, everything around you smells like roses. And what you give are things you know, it's because of the wisdom that you have been able to amass over time.
Yes, amazing.
Thank you so much,
That is well said, Redempta. You know how to choose your words. You choose your words very carefully, and they all make sense. Everything you say makes sense. And thank you so much for honoring the invite. I'm so happy you came. This conversation would not have happened the same way. With someone else. This had just to be you. And thank you so much for that. And again, I want to remind everyone out there, this only happens at Off Mute with Becky. This kind of conversations that are real, that they are very vulnerable, but they are very practical at the same time. We want to learn, how do we go out? How do we become the best versions of ourselves? And the guests that come to this podcast help us to do that. They are gracious enough to share with us their stories, how they've managed to find themselves, and how they have grown and become who they have become. Again, thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.